Hi guys, my kid Dezaras Prime back with another Transformers Titans Return review, and today we are discussing Alpha Trion. On a related note, I've just finally got around to watching the Machinima series for the Prime Wars trilogy, the little animated things. It was strange, to be honest. I'd read the comics, the Combiner Wars arc in the IDW comics, and this was nothing. The Combiner Wars portion was nothing like that. It's neither a good nor a bad thing, but it's I don't know. It felt strange. You have Menasor battering Computron, and then later on in the second parts of the trilogy, they're mates. It's all a bit. Might be the enigma of combination, bringing them all under one harmonious thing, but it was kind of, where were the rest of them? I mean, I know you don't want to overblow and oversaturate and overcrowd the series with all the characters, but a lot of fucking toys came out, and when you're talking combiners, you don't just think Menasor, Devastator and Computron of all people. Where was Superion? Where was Defensor? Victorion, fair enough. She was a fan-voted one. She was new. They wanted to get her in, get her some exposure, get her some story and character building. I like what they did with Victorion. It worked. She was like this no-nonsense, no bullshit fucking combiner who was charged with being the keeper of the enigma of combination. I like what they did with her. But where was Superion? Where was Defensor? I'm glad they didn't do Optimus Maximus or any of that stuff, or the Cyclonus mind controlling stuff. I'm glad Devastator was just Devastator, not Devastator featuring Prowl. It just felt lacking in certain areas. The whole Starscream thing was a bit bollocks. I mean, yeah, they really played on Starscream's manipulation. Did that well. It's just the whole ending thing where it's just a swirl of stars and it's just a bit weird. It picked up in Power of the Primes and Titans Return and Power of the Primes, and I actually enjoyed Power of the Primes probably the most out of any of them. But yeah, it was strange. Anyway, I want to give my thoughts on it briefly, and now we'll get to toys. Alpha Trion, one of the many figures that didn't feature in any of these series. Not in Titans Return, not in Power of the Primes. This is Titans Return Alpha Trion, obviously. I quite like it. He was one of those ones that I wanted. I ordered him at the same time I ordered Astro Train. I wanted Alpha Trion because he's the only Alpha Trion I own. And I do like this figure. It's a nice, fun little figure. And it does have the... it evokes Alpha Trion with the mustache face. And I like the horns that come up. This is one of those figures where I definitely keep the side horns up. These things that you can detach or retract, I keep them up. It just adds to it, I feel, with Alpha Trion. Got some great sculpting there. And it's almost like he's holding Vector Sigma or something like that in his chest. And then the lion parts are holding it in place as extra security. I dig the detail on the chest. It's really something to behold. If you look at all the extra sculpting and stuff around the edges, all that engraving, he really does come across as ancient and wise and powerful. And yeah, so I call that knowledge is just being held in place. I quite dig that. The shoulders are the lion face, head parts, and then the forearms. Nice furry forearms there. Again with some decent sculpting. If I can get it in focus there. Minimal, but it's there. And then he's got his little loincloth thing there that almost looks like a lion's head in and of itself. Sort of like a deformed lion's face though. And then the legs, where he's got 4 feet. He's got his knee feet and his feet. Legs are probably the weakest part because it's like your battleship parts and stuff like that. But all in all, I do like this guy. If it wants to focus on him. Don't focus on me, focus on what's in front. Yeah, I do like this guy. His fucking claw prime headmaster holder thing's falling out. Let's look at those quickly. So yeah, he's got that little like claw cannon thing that looks like lion claws, like a paw sort of thing. It's pretty standard, pretty basic, holds a Titan Master in there. And then he's got this lovely sword. Got some nice detail in the blade. Some lovely detailing there. And then the hilt's pretty nice as well. It's a bit blurred. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Yeah, I do like the sword. It's a nice sword. And he is a triple changer. Because, you know, Voyagers in Titan's Return are triple changers. And he becomes like some sort of battleship and a lion. Which, I know some people ask why. And it's probably one of those things where the people at Hasbro are like, oh, he needs to have 3 modes. What are we going to give him? Oh, Alpha Trion. Let's make him a lion. It could be that. It could just be as silly as that. Or, you know, there is the whole thing about this figure was done in the Takara LG line, repainted as Lio Convoy. So maybe there was some foresight there. I do kind of want the Lio Convoy, but I'm not. It's not Grail worthy to me. Or it might have just been something as simple as, well, when have we ever seen Alpha Trion's alt modes? Or alt mode? I don't recall seeing Alpha Trion in an alt mode. I mean, my experiences with Alpha Trion is in the cartoon series where he's just always a robot. So, you know, there is room for a lot of leeway when it comes to a character like Alpha Trion. And also, the lion kind of makes sense, not just because Trion lion, but, you know, he is like the old and wise Autobot, and a lion kind of fits that bill. Because it looks majestic. Alpha Trion's an old, wise, majestic Autobot, and lions are generally majestic. I don't know about wise, but if you look at Aslan from The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, he was a wise lion. The Lion King, lions are generally, in fiction, portrayed as wise creatures. So, it kind of fits that. So, I don't mind that he's a lion and a shuttle kind of thing. Articulation. Piss off. It's, yeah, head turns. Let me see if I can just put those down a sec. They don't stay down as good. Another good reason to keep them up. You know, side horns are down there. Before we get to articulation, actually, let's take a look at Soveriegn, his Titan Master. Sovereign is a nice red or burgundy. Is the Alpha Trion red type thing. Maroon, purple and grey. It's hard to show all the detail here, but yeah, he's got his head on the back there. It's going to be hard to show the Titan Masters, and for that matter, the Prime Masters. So yeah, some decent detailing, and his chest does kind of mimic Alpha Trion's chest with the that screw could be like the big circle where all the fucking power's stored and shit. There we go, we've got a decent little focus there. Some nice detailing on the shins and on the upper arms. On the side's pretty standard. Head's pretty standard. Not very Alpha Trion, but yeah, not every Titan Master is gonna look like the head on the back. And speaking of the head on the back, let's get a closer look at his head sculpt there. Come on, bitch. No. Because the thing just came up, is like, let's look at you. No, not my head. Not my head. His head. Let's look at his head. Come on. It doesn't want to focus on him, does it? It's that colour, isn't it? It did the same thing with fucking... What's his tits? Quake. See his fucking colours, there we go. Yeah, definitely. He's got a stoic, wise look about him. The nice little Fu Manchu moustache. And the purple crest. And then the side vents. Oh, fuck off. And we lost it there, didn't we? Oh, God. But yeah, that's Soveriegn in his head mode. So there he is. Get a better look at him there. Articulation, head goes all the way around. I think you push the button in his chest. Or do you? Yes, you do. You push that button in his chest, and then the side horns come up again. And that is also, it's not on a full thing. You get some range of motion with it, but not a lot. But even so, it's fine. Arms can go out, but they're hindered by the lion kibble, like the teeth there. And they go all the way around. And they have a bicep swivel and wrist action as well. Massive hollow point there. So it depends on how you want to have it. Whether you want it like that or like that. You still don't get that much. You get more range, outward range movement when the arm's like that. But yeah, still limited. No waist swivel. Said wrist action, didn't I? And the it's just above the elbow swivel there. Legs can go out. They go forward. Very tightly they go forward, I've noticed. And they're on this weird thing where there's no thigh swivel. It's all on the hip, which is kind of a little bit worrying. But I think that's what contributes to the tightness as well when you're pulling forward, because it kind of warps a little bit out. Knee bend. No left and right ankle tilt, but it can go back a little bit. these feet move as well, if you want them to. So all in all, a decent little figure. I like this one. Like I said, he was one of those that I wanted. Mainly because I don't have an Alpha Trion, and as an Alpha Trion, it works. It does the job for me. Some issues with construction, like the legs. I'd rather they were just like the standard ball joint hips with the thigh swivel connecting just below the hips and not having it all part of the hips. But yeah, it's still a decent figure. I'm still glad I got it. Anyway, that's enough about the robot mode. Let's get him into... We'll go with the Trion Lion, shall we? Okay, so Alpha Trion's Lion mode is something of an oddity. We'll get the bat out of the way, and that's the mid-section. It's full of gaps and shit, and I don't think I've transformed it wrong. But yeah, you can definitely see where they maybe could have fleshed it out a little bit better around that part. But it's not terrible. It's not a deal breaker. Calves are a bit... The back thighs are a bit massive as well. But they at least do fill it in a little bit. I wish there'd have been something that you could maybe move that around to there, just to fill it in a bit more. Yeah, it benefits from being a mechanized lion, a mechanical lion, and not an organic lion. If they were going to try and make it an organic lion, then they'd have some troubles. But with him being a mechanical lion, you can sort of take a few liberties, I guess. I'm really surprised with how well the front works. Because the front, you basically just took his forearms into his shoulder mouth, and it works really well. Has he got eyes? Yeah, I think he's got eyes, but they're like the purple blended in with the purple on the mane. It does... I mean, from this part onwards, it cuts an imposing figure. It looks fucking... The front works better than it should, I feel. The way they made the lion mouth come together by folding the arms up, it just... I mean, you can barely tell it's a fist. It looks like a lion going grrr. And I like that. So... Yeah, his lion mode is, it's got some good range of movement as well. Like the fucking feet can bend and stuff like that. And he's got a swivel. We're doing lion articulation now, aren't we? But yeah, and then the back legs. They bend because it's basically just Alpha Trion's robot knees. And then there's an extra bend there. I'm doing the wrong one, aren't I? I'm doing the one that's closest to me. There's an extra bend there and then a foot bend there. So, yeah, a decent range of motion. The sword becomes his tail, which, okay. But yeah, I mean, the way I'm holding it isn't so bad because my finger's holding in all those gaps. So, yeah, it's has its flaws, definitely. But... It's still a good lion mode. I like the lion mode. And then you can fit Soveriegn, I believe, sits in there in the little cockpit. Just there. So he can pilot the lion. The lion. And yeah, so you've got your whole little fucking Megazord fucking Voltron type thing going on there. With Soveriegn piloting his lion Tron Zord thing. So yeah, definitely a cool little touch. As I said, I do like it. The midsection is the main point of contention for me. The rest of it's good. This bit's great. I really like what they did, how they put the fucking head together. It's very clever engineering, I feel. Anyway, let's get him to his space battleship mode, I think it is. Okay, so that's his spaceship mode that so again, I quite like it. I mean, it's one of those, it's a bit like Sentinels, where if it was bigger, it would probably be more impressive, it would probably suit this design more, because it looks like a nice fucking battle cruiser sort of thing. With the, I mean, there's obvious like lion kibble and fucking robot kibble and shit on it, but if you look at it from that angle, it looks intimidating. It's flying past, like, I mean, I've got the cockpit open because I'm about to put fucking Soveriegn back in. The Soveriegn can sit in there, or he can sit in there. Oh yeah, from that angle, looks good enough. Sides, it's a bit more iffy. Underneath, yeah. But all in all, still a decent little fucking battleship. Kind of space ship sort of thing. You can have another Titan Master in there piloting the gun, but you know, if it's in space, you know, he's probably going to float away. Unless there's some sort of trionic gravitational pull that keeps him in there. I don't know. Yeah, let's have a look at some of the detailing on the panels and stuff. Yeah, there's some nice sculpted detailing there. The silver, like, nose there. And almost like a mini cockpit between the toes. They don't hold together that brilliantly, which is a shame. Yeah, the decent details all in there, because once you get up there, it's all fucking robot junk and lion junk and stuff like that. But all in all, still a decent fucking ship mode, and you know, for a triple changer, it does a decent job of being all three. And it's really hard to figure out for me which one was the afterthought mode. You know, Astro Train, you've got to have the shuttle and the train. But with ones that are more obscure, like, I mean, obviously Sentinel Prime was easy, but ones like Alpha Trion, you know, you're going to work on one mode. I think they focus more on the Lion than the shuttle or the battleship. That's just my thought, because the Lion hides the ship parts better than the ship hides the Lion parts. That's the best way I can think about it. Having said that, I still like it. It's still a decent battleship. The Lion's better in my opinion, but it's one that I'll mainly keep in robot mode. I think I won't really delve into alt modes that much like the cartoon. I'll probably keep him in his robot mode. But yeah, it's a good toy. I like it. I wasn't disappointed, a bit surprised when I first got it, and I was like, okay, that does that, and oh, that's quite clever. But yeah, don't regret buying it. It's a good little figure. I really do enjoy it, especially in its robot mode. That's pretty much all I can say about it. It has its flaws. It's not the best of the triple changers. but it does a good job. And I'm not going to let myself be spoiled by Springer and Sandstorm, the Thrilling 30 ones, because they're cracking triple change, probably the best triple changes we've got. But Trion does a decent job, so yeah, good on you, mate. Fucking Aslan Prime. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that figure. This has been my review of Titan's Return Alpha Trion. I've been Mike Dezaras Prime, and you shall see me in a bitch.